broadcasting live from the doctor's appointment ravaged bayous of Louisiana. Howdy, kids. It's Max. It's me. Sorry I'm late, everybody. But hopefully, not when the neurosurgeon says, hey, it's time, get your ass here, you do it. And that's an hour drive for us. So that had to happen. And of course, you run into an antique shop on the way home, and well, you build up quite a thirst. So that's all right. We got some goodies. Y'all want to see what I got real quick? Here, let's here's your unboxing video for the week. So of course, my wife, the wife junkie, has to pick up some Chessex, and anybody who doesn't know, once again, this is Excalibur Comics in Shreveport on 70th Street, and they are Excalibur Cards and Games.com. They are totally worth the trip if you're ever in Shreveport. They got what you need. Anybody who watched the painting video and saw me doing, the head of Laser Pants, saw me use a wet palette, picked up a few more, a hydro pack, which is basically all the replacement stuff for the inside of it. It's got the little sponge and a lot of the other pieces. And for my daughter, she has been reading East of West, and I mean, I haven't got a chance to read this yet, but I flipped through the artwork, and I mean, the artwork is phenomenal. And my daughter tells me that the story is equally so. So I'm looking forward to starting this myself. We'll just see how it goes. But so I found me a alternative cover, Destro and Cobra Commander on there, and that is definitely that was a good pickup. And for $5, a GI Joe yearbook #1. And it's, I mean, it's not this one's not the best. It's got a little bit of foxing, but it looks, I don't know, it looks like it's, I wouldn't send this one off to get graded. But that right there, God, I loved the yearbooks when I was a kid. The G.I. Joe comics were always my favorite. Larry Hama, all the way. Yeah, you see that name right there. Get it. Larry Hama. You guys can have, I've had a few people, they're like, Max, you got to give that you got to give that Energon universe a chance. And I've read a couple issues, and honestly, some of the shit in it's brutal. And if it was just, it's a good series. It's Transformers and G.I. Joe all tied in. And, anybody who knows, back in the day, they had Transformers and G.I. Joe. It was like a 4-issue miniseries. And it was what it was. Marketing so you could buy our toys. Figure Fight Club, Elise, hello and welcome. Denzine, I'm just gonna call you Denz. I got something. Stick around. As soon as my wife gets back, I got I got something to show you. We're gonna talk about you, Dens. And Abby, stick around. We're gonna get to that. I gotta waste a few more minutes. Mikey. Hey, Mikey. Knock knock. Come on. Come on. Knock knock. Man, nobody wants to. All right, Abby. Yeah, there you, ah. Say ahoo. Werewolves of London. There you go. All right. That was worth it. I love this cover. I already have this in the regular format. So, and I've got a little bit of catching up to do. I have years ago I had a complete collection of GI Joe. As I have told the story more than a few times. Um issue 49, A Real American Hero, was the first comic book I ever bought. That and issue 101 of Mad Magazine. Those two were the first two. Um, and so Larry Hama, Real American Hero, G.I. Joe is that's my jam, yo. At one point I had a complete collection. All newsstand issues in really good shape. All paper. All you get the back, the acid free sleeve, and Mike, I knew you'd get it. And they I sold them to a comic shop in Norman, Oklahoma, right after I found out my wife was pregnant with my daughter, and that is how we got enough money to move and move into Oklahoma City. So I have been kind of thinking for a few years that I might rebuild that collection. Um, but I definitely want to get it. And I may pick one up here and there. I'm pretty sure when I go to uh, Joe Fest at Dallas DFW, the I will have plenty of opportunity to pick up some comic books there. I may try to see about it. Uh man, I don't know. I mean, I've got the compendiums, and if you have not, if you didn't back the kid Kickstarter for the Larry Hama um uh Kickstarter for the bless it, stupid AI. My camera is partially a fascist because if I hold my hand up like this, it turns on the AI feature of my camera, and that uh, um, makes it do funny things that are out of my control. And I don't need my toaster telling me how to run my program. Toasters are for toasting. But regardless, I've been considering rebuilding my Real American Hero comic book collection. Especially if nothing else, I definitely want to rebuild my Real American Hero special missions because, man, those were the shit. Those things were. It was good storytelling, good artwork. Um, it was nice. I I really like the new Larry Hama stuff. my only constructive criticism of it is that it just seems like it's moving fast. Like it's hey, this could end any day, so we're just going to kind of wrap this up. Um, and I don't like that. I want to feel like it's going to be around for a while, but we'll see. Here's hoping. I also need to give a shout out. This is a friend of mine's book. He is a very, very dear friend. Um, we just call him Danny, but uh, Mr. Derek Sean, he is someone who is one of the few people on this planet who are, aside from medical experts, who is, probably has a sole responsibility of being someone who actually saved my existence. And he has written a book, and I am pretty good ways through some of the first chapter. I think I'm a little bit more. I'm on chapter 11. And it is definitely, if you have ever worked retail and just moved on from that, it's still working retail is something that it gets into your RNA. It's just it's permanent, it's forever, and it makes for a damn good fucking novel. This right here, I don't care who you are, you will find something that connects you to this book. Uh, it's available where all fine publications are available, Amazon. And hold on, also it goodreads.com. Both places. Uh, give it a read if you're just uh it's fantastic. It'll keep you on the toilet at least 10 minutes past your turd dropping. That's the best fucking review I could give any book. Yes, sir. And listen, it won't cost you an arm and a leg. Just an arm. Also, Big Bad Toy Store come through for me with a version 1 bone collector. But oh, dear fucking God. Bone Collector. I have been after this little bad boy since its release. I missed out on it because I honestly can't give you a reason why. I was still, when this came out, I was still kind of on the fence as to whether Action Force and Valaverse was something I really wanted to get into. And then I listened to Bobby Vala talk for 5 minutes, and I was like, "Nope, fuck, I'm done. Nope, it's over. I'll take it. Give it to me. You need me to shill, sir? I'll shill. I will dance your little dance. I will help you sell your little toys. Whatever you need, baby. I got it." That's my Elite Legends doing Dusty Rhodes impression. Also got me a Sergeant Slaughter. Very, very nice fucking figure. Got a really nice little gear set that comes with it. This right here was another reason why I really got into Action Force. See the way the gear is all hung up like that. So I've got I really wanted that gear set. I wanted a little weapon rack like that. And I was like, "Bobby, make a weapons rack. You got one pictured on the cover of your fucking toys. Give it to me." He was like, "Nah." Nope, I don't want to do that. You figure it out. You just think about it a little bit. You got it. So I did, and I made one. And I got it in the other room in the Valiverse case. So I will I think somebody's here. And I am going to Yes, I listen, I cannot wait for DFW. I'm going to tell you I am so excited about it. I'm talking to my wife right now whether or not we're going to get a room because I definitely want to go to the Valiverse panel so I can Jesus Christ, man. I'm just fucking I love those toys. The story is good. It and I'm invested in Valiverse, and I cannot wait to kick it with all of y'all at Joe Fest. It is going to be a blast, and yes, I if you can't have a good time, you're not going to be. 1 second, I got to say something real. All right, I got a surprise. Hang in there, Dens. Abby, don't go anywhere. We got something big in the works, and if you watched Figure Fight Club open mic night on Tuesdays, which you should be, unless you want the terrorists to win, then we made a special friend all the way from Colombia. Yeah. That's showing off everything Valiverse. Listen, I, I, you know what? It's not shilling if it's a good fucking product. And yes, bring it over. And speaking of good products, this right here, holy shit, fuck you, camera. This is getting shipped to Colombia. This is a gray Action Force Vanguard. And we all are pitching in, Dens, and this baby is going all the way to Colombia because apparently Colombia needs some Action Force up in it. So this right here, Dens, I cannot get this fucking thing is huge. I don't know how we're gonna get a whole fucking pallet, Dens, of shit to send to you, but we realized that Action Force is being underrepresented in the fine country of Colombia, and we're gonna remedy that. I also have the updated turret that goes up and down. So yeah, that is that's your brand new Vanguard, sir. And if I see it in a fucking toy store in Colombia, I'm sending the headhunters after you. we they are massive. You can fit, as I've been told, up to 10 Valiverse figures inside that Vanguard. And they just slide right in. No lube, straight raw. Well, listen, this is not just, I am not taking all the credit for this. In no way, shape, or form. This is all the fine people of Figure Fight Club and all the fine people of open mic night. They that's what she said. This is Abby. Right, everybody open mic night. Everybody's come together. We also got a massive donation from the 3POA community and the Figure Fight Club community for a lot of shipping, and we are putting together a huge Action Force package to get down there to you. And I've been talking with Dens today about how to get that shipping done. I think we've got it all figured out on that, so it doesn't. I don't want you to have to pay $1,000 to have to pick it up once we pay a whole shit ton of money to get it shipped down there. But and we also got some other people throwing in. We got some people looking for some Red Hood stuff for you and things like that. In the coming weeks, I'll have everything getting shipped here, get it all put in, and we're going to get it down to you. But if you didn't know about that Vanguard, son, you know now. We don't half-ass nothing at Figure Fight Club uh, or here on Insert Your Name Here. But balls deep on everything, baby. No, no kidding. That Vanguard, that's all yours. I got I think I don't believe that 4 is enough, but I can handle only having 3 for a while. If I got to, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it is too much. It's fucking huge. Listen, those Vanguards, you got no idea. No idea. That thing is massive. I don't know where you're going to put that thing. You're going to have to sell a few Red Hoods to get this thing to fit in your house. It's hey, listen, I am a lot of collectors never and um I've been in collecting retail since I was 3 days old. My parents are antique dealers. My father, before he passed, my mother still is. And a lot of collectors in the antiquing community, in the toy collecting, comic book collecting, a lot of people they don't share their hobby with other people. Uh, Either it's they've been, somebody's made fun of them before, nerds, and we are, and sometimes we deserve every bit of that ridicule. But just being able to share something that I and people that I like to consider my I'm kind of with Chad. I'm not real big on the word community because we're all a bunch of twats. But we got a good fellowship. I like the word fellowship. That fits us a lot more with the people that I run with. We're a rough crowd. Abby, I mean, man, uh, he kills people in Minecraft. But it's a good fellowship that we have, and being able to share um something that we're passionate about, and uh it's a rare opportunity. A well-regulated militia. That is, dear God, that fits way that one's scary accurate. Uh Being able to share something that we're all passionate about is an opportunity that I like to take advantage of. So it's gonna be fun. And seeing and listen, we got your word, man. You're gonna be opening this thing up live on night, a Friday night fights. Where am I? Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I think I'm here. We're doing something. Where am I live? Yeah, yeah. We're gonna open it. We're gonna get you open this thing up live on Figure Fight Club, and that right there is gonna be worth it all. So yeah, open mic every Tuesday night, somewhere around 7, maybe 7:05, maybe 6:55, somewhere around there. It's on Tuesdays. Tuesdays, you know that day. Um, there's two of them, but it's one day. Tuesday. Jokes are getting worse. I probably ought to start drawing something. Hey, youngling. All right. So, yeah, so that's happening. And honestly, thank you. You're doing me a favor, Dance, because those things take up a tremendous amount of space. So now I've got room to do something. Maybe I'll start pestering Bobby till he sells me a pink one. That sweet, sweet man. Listen, I'm going to tell you. Here's the other thing, Dens. I'm going to get with Bobby, Mr. Bobby Valla, and tell him to start checking his Columbia sales. So I want to start a tidal wave here. I want him to be calling up me and Abby going, dude, what the fuck did you do? I got all these Colombians hitting me up for shit. God, I am so thirsty. We just drove back from Shreveport. It's an hour drive. And it sucks. I'm so ready not to drive to Shreveport anymore. Oh. All righty. So some of you might remember the Jamakian Mudbug Commander that we drew a few weeks back. Last week we took a little break from drawing. Tonight, what I want to do, I really at some point want to get it put on one of these character design sheets. And I know I promised that, but it's kind of a pain in the dick. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. That way, it's done. I can say I did a thing. Listen, let me tell you, if I do not I would not even begin to attempt to speak for that man, um, or in any way, shape, or form. But if there is any push or shove that that man does not need any help selling toys. If you've got some toy stores down there, you should definitely get them to contact Bobby. Uh, that man, he gets shit done. He's a busy man. He can be hard to get a hold of, but I guarantee you, if there's a way to get Action Force to Columbia, ooh, I don't know what that was. Um, he will be all about it. So if there's anything I can do, like I said, um, yeah, Bobby got Bobby shit to do. He's a good person, and he's uh talk to your toy stores. You said you had a toy store down there. Just tell them to get a hold of them. It's you can message the Valaverse page. I guarantee you, if there's a way, if they want to sell his toys, I guarantee you that man will do everything he can to try to make that happen. He likes selling his toys. So, but here's what you can do. You take some of these toys that me and Figure Fight Club and some other people are all throwing in, and J Mac and Creative. Take some of those Action Force over to your toy store and say, "Hey, check this out. This what this man got to sell. You should call him. You start it. You start that whole country. When Action Force takes over Colombia, I will be right there with you. I want to see an Action Force convention in the capital. That right there, that would be badass. But I will be happy to. I mean, the man don't listen to me, but I will be happy to put in a good word if I can. That he gets a bad rap from a lot of people who just don't know their head from a hole in the wall. But I've uh, I've never dealt with a finer individual who cares about his product and the people he sells it to. So, all right, these are the character design sheets. They are by Blue Line Art. A lot of professional artists use these. They do also make um, a lot of comic book sheets for doing comic book stuff. I know a lot of professional artists who use these. I know some who use them for they do a lot of. I think Image used to. They may have their own, uh, but Blue Line makes a lot of these for a lot of different companies, and I know it's really hard to see. Let's try and get all my it's got Valaverse all over the fucking place. If you look, you can kind of make out a lot of the lines that Abby, you have a good night, bud. If I don't talk to you before Tuesday, I actually you and I are probably going to talk before Tuesday. So, but if not, I'll see you then. Um, you can write down character names, things like that. So we're going to Series, that doesn't matter. Character, this is a J. Shut up, Siri. This is a J. Mackian Mudbug Commander. And this is version 1. We're not going to worry about notes. It's got a thing down at the bottom for scale, but I'm not worried about that. We're not really, unless I just get a complete wild hair up my ass, we're probably not going to take this past a drawing phase. But there's a couple different ways to get. We've already got a 3/4 profile with this drawing here. I could take this. Let's see. I want it to fit on the sheet. And the size that I've got it, I'm probably going to probably should have drawn it a little bit smaller. I want to line this up with one of the lines on the bottom here. So we're going to take that foot line comes all the way to there. So we're going to line that up. As we can, just I guess. I really didn't expect this little project to go 3 episodes. So we're definitely knocking this one out tonight. All right. So what I probably ought to do is get a light table. Oh, J-Mac, you and those mythic legions. I've been looking at them all night, and I do not want to look at them anymore. Holding that up to a light to kind of see where it sits on the table. Hey, little assistant. All right. I guess I'm on my own. So, y'all hold on. I will be right back. All right. Get some shit out of the way here. Just gonna quit half-assing it here and just go back to the light table. All right. So when you're working with this, This is really making me miss my huge professional light table. This is where these little light tracer ones fail. So this is a cardstock, and it is not great. I know you can kind of see a little bit on that, but that is not anywhere near as bright as I like it when I've got to trace through paper. Now you can hold it down and I can get a little bit better with that, but sure would be nice if it was a little brighter. Not either go get your damn light table, Max, or shut the fuck up and move on. So let's do that. I'm gonna put a little bit of tape right there so that holds my position. And I think I've still got enough of an edge on this paper mate to do what I want. Well, it's hard dealing with virtual toy stores, and that's the way a lot of them are going nowadays. Um, here you go, Ken. I hope you're feeling better, bud. We all been thinking about you. I know you can't be feeling too bad because I'm sure still getting those. Hey, you know that might be a good idea. Let me just turn that overhead light off. Well, that might make a little bit of difference for you as an audience, but that does not make much of a difference for me as the person who needs it. But we're going to work on from there and make it happen anyway. Now, and I only say this because, again, I am very much used to my professional light tables. I've got, oh my god, I don't even want to think how much money I've got invested in them damn things. But I've got one, two, at least three that are just, if I put them under this camera, all you would see is light. But that's all right. Let's get it on this paper. And once we get this one, it won't take me just a few minutes to get this one moved onto here. And then we can pencil in the side profile or looking on from the back profile on there. And this is also another opportunity, as we did with the second draft last time, to make any changes that we really want to make. Like, I really didn't care for that little hose being the way it was. So we're going to just kind of beef that up just a little bit. Oh shit! I'll tell you all this. I should have. This was old business, and I screwed up for not telling you this. I did not sculpt this laser pants head. I just painted it. Credit for the sculpt goes to a guy, Mark II Designs. I don't know if he's how public he is or whatnot. So you might see if you can find them. If you are looking, and I also had a lot of people hit me up for commissions. I'm not at a point health wise where I'm taking commissions. If you are looking for commission paint jobs, in chat right now, JMK underscore customs underscore works. That is your man. Hit him up. He is fantastic at it. He's got a bunch of stuff that him and his awesome dad sell. When I am ready to take commissions, I will most definitely post about it. Um, it is I've done them in the past. Uh, I've just got a lot of stuff that yeah, Mark is phenomenal. He's phenomenal. You know how phenomenal he is? Tell us about all his phenomenal stuff. Um, his gun sculpts, Valaverse guns, the geez Louise, I can't even. They are fantastic. If you've got action figures with gummy weapons, Valaverse has got your solution. You can check that out at valaverse.com. But if you are looking for commission action figure heads, definitely uh, check out JMK Customs. I don't know if you can put a link to your you just I'm not cool enough to have Scott Hughes in here modding for me. So you'll have to link your own channel. Oh, I did have a good doctor's visit today. I am not dying. They are definitely, thanks to it slices, it dices. I did production work in radio for a while. So if you ever want to hear Sunday, live at the Coliseum, all the big 4x4 action you can handle, I got you, fam. Yeah, and I've got one of those that got, man, the glass on it is stupid heavy. I replaced all the bulbs in it with LEDs, and I want to be happy with it, but I've also got in the next room over there one for that one of my tattoo buddies made for me, and it says Max on the top of it, so that makes it doubly cool. Um, the drafting one that I've got it's a big, heavy sun gun, and then I've got a couple flat ones that like I said, they're lightweight. They're really easy. I've even got one that's about the same time as this stupid little light tracer, but it is just so fucking bright. I've managed over the years to kind of nullify that a bit with um, switches and stuff that I can dim the light and stuff like that. But not all LEDs are created equal, and some really don't like to be fucking dimmed. So you got to, and like I said, it none of it really matters, because if I'm gonna draw for you fine folk, then if you're able to see it, it's because I'm not using the bad boys. Hey, listen, I used my light table as a coffee table for a while. Just didn't have a place to put it. It made me nervous because when I did my consultations at my tattoo shop, it was always one on one. They'd come back, and I had a little uh, one of those old maroon chairs that out of an old Pizza Hut, and they'd sit across from me, and they'd come in with these big fucking Yetis and drop that shit right on the glass top of them that light table by my desk, and every time I die just a little inside. Mm. I was just waiting for that fucking Yeti to go right through the top of that thing, and Max was going to get me a whole new glass top. You know, the thing about glass, especially when you're dealing with some of that tempered, like on them old drafting tables, we had one in the shop. I think that thing was 6 feet wide and 4 foot top to bottom, had a motor in it that would take it up and down. And ah, that was a good table. And I had a friend who had one very similar, maybe made in the 60s or 70s, had kind of that mid-century modern look to it. And one day he was just sitting at his desk and that thing just exploded. Just tempered glass everywhere. Nobody was sitting at it. Just a little change in temperature or something like that. When some of that glass is ready to break, there it goes. My As I'd said earlier, my parents antique dealers, and my mother especially uh, likes vintage glass. And some of that stuff, it doesn't matter how careful you are with it. When it's time for it to die, it's going. I tell you, drawing this guy, I really get kind of um, rogue warrior. I don't know if any 2000 AD fans in the chat tonight. Anybody even know what 2000 AD is? Come on, don't. No 2000. Really, not one 2000 AD fan. Anybody heard of Judge Dredd? I know you all heard of Judge Dredd. Well, yeah, HGC gets it. Uh, Judge Dredd was printed 2000 AD. Used to have Warlock. God, what else was in? You had Rogue Warrior, which we should actually be getting a movie um, for Rogue Warrior. Uh, Judge Dredd was always getting published in that one. Uh, it was it was super good. Big, thick British comic. I mean, it was like the old Dell comics from back in the day. About 2 foot tall, and it was thick, like the old Vampirella and stuff like that. Yeah, heavy metal reproduced a lot of stuff out of 2000 AD. Um, I miss heavy metal. Heavy metal before Kevin Eastman bought it. He does all right. It just, I don't know. Now that Mobius is gone and a lot of the other old timers, it just, I don't know. But yeah, we should be getting. Rogue Warrior was Mobius did a lot of Rogue Warrior stuff, and uh, so if you're familiar with like the original heavy metal movie, a lot of that style that was all fucking Mobius. Hmm, combine these a little bit. That was the first time I, not to switch off a Rogue Warrior. Um, First time I ever read a Judge Dredd comic, it was I had no idea what the fuck I was looking at. No idea. I was like, what is happening here? This guy was getting arrested because in Mega City 1, you had to have a mandatory hobby. If this, I swear, it's shit with some fucking prophecy shit. Um, you had to have a mandatory hobby, and this guy was doing his mandatory hobby, and he was telling his wife like, "Oh, you got to do your mandatory hobby. You've got to, or they're coming." And sure enough, here comes fucking Dread. Actually, it was another judge, but you know, and then that started the whole. I was just like, I'd never seen anything like that. That Judge Dredd shit you get. Of course, hey, credit where credit's due. That Sylvester Stallone film. I always looked at that as like there somebody made a movie within the Judge Dredd universe, and that was that movie. So, I am the law. That yeah. So do, do, do. But Judge Dredd, that shit would unsettle your mind and prepare you for revolution. I highly recommend it. HGC, I'm yeah, it's his loss. I shut down for most of the day uh when I heard of his passing. It just that he was that influential to everything I wanted to be as an artist, and the oh my god, the if we'd have only got the incel, and not that kind of incel. um he did a story called The Incel. um and it was just it's amazing. I mean, it's Mobius, so it's amazing art, amazing storytelling. um I mean, shit. Almost everything all you fucking nerds love today, you owe to Mobius and H.R. Geiger. it Everything you love, he drew at some point. It I, I have yet. I've got a lot of favorite artists and people that I really I appreciate what they're doing, but I've yet to have a replacement come up that just kind of takes me to that level. I'm a huge Frank Cho fan, but and it's drawing is one thing. and being a great artist, Frank Cho most certainly qualifies as um, I'm happy to give a shout out to a good Canadian artist. I actually worked on a comic book when I was in Canada. I was in Newfoundland by, and I worked on a comic book called Zone 7. I've had a house fire and I lost some of the I had a lot of the artwork. I've still got a few on some burned sheets. Mark Oakley. A lot of people are going to Frank is amazing. That Miyazaki is somebody who I am definitely influenced by, and we will get to that in a episode. I've got I spent a couple years recreating his original watercolor palette, down to the pencil he used, down to the brush that he used, the what he the actual metal Holbein palette that all his paints are in. Had to trace down some discontinued watercolors. There is a guy on YouTube, and start when I break out and I do that palette and do some watercolor work, I will link it. Um, or you can just do a YouTube search for recreating Hayao Miyazaki's watercolor palette, and um, gives you a pretty good idea. It was a lot of fun. It was also stupid expensive. I bet I've got $400 tied into recreating that palette. I was, and I would spend that fucking money again in a heartbeat. Well, cool. Everybody check out uh, Mark Oakley. I'm always happy to support another artist. I'm gonna look him up after the show. If I find out he sucks, I'm gonna fucking call you out on that shit. I had fun working. There was a time when I was in Canada, um, illegally, I might add. That's a story for another time. Um, the Canadian government would give you $25,000 for an art project, whatever you wanted to do, whether you wanted to do, physical media, whether you wanted to do film, which I think they, hoped for. Uh, and This was mid 90s. That's when I was in Canada. I got deported in 90 98 December 97. Yeah, so 98 I got deported from Canada. That Yeah. Yeah, I got deported from Canada. What about it? Shut up. Um Good times. And I'd do it again. Uh Excuse me. So me and this guy, his name was Tony. I can't remember what his last name was. he turned out to be a kind of a fucking weirdo, but he had a really good story. And I don't want to tell it because it's not my story to hell yeah, breaking the law. That was pre 9/11. You could do shit like that. I got to 3 continents and at least a dozen countries, and Canada was the only one that ever caught me. So, um, this guy Tony, he's sitting there, and we're just bullshitting one day, and he found out that I could draw while we were eating some poutine, and I think that's what they call it, a bunch of mayo on fries with, you know, man, I love the moose. I all right, I'll tell the story. So I had arrived in Canada, and I was in and I was going around, but basically I'd been in Europe, and I had I think for a time my family thought that I was no longer amongst the living. I'm going to give you the shortened version. Um, so I wanted to see my family, but I did not want to come back to the US because I was having fun. And also I might have stolen a car or something. I don't know. Anyway, shit you do when you're a kid. So I was in Canada, and I found myself in New Brunswick. Well, at the time I was in Canada, I had a marvelous English accent. Very wonderful, very thoughtful. If you're going to do English, do it well, me friend. So I was found myself in New Brunswick, which I do not recommend. It is the Canadian province that I figured Canada would probably openly uh, uh, donate to shut up certain people, just to get it out of their fucking hair. Because fuck New Brunswick. All the rest of the provinces, a okay. Love you guys. Oh, Canada. I would go back to Newfoundland in a heartbeat. So I'm in New Brunswick because I'm stupid, and it's raining. Now, I'm backpacking in Canada. So this guy picks me up and was like, "Hey, uh, I got a friend of mine. He works at the Salvation Army. They got beds and stuff. Put you up for the night." So I was like, "Great. I'll do that." So I stayed me a night at the Salvation Army. The next morning, oh, by the way, at the time I was doing this, my name was Maximilian Alexander Sterling. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And so the next morning, some fine individuals from Immigration du Canada took me to an immigration detention center in Montreal and held me there for 3 weeks. Now, you're asking yourself, okay, Max, you just got caught by a federal agency of a foreign country, a neighboring foreign country. Most people would be like, okay, my name's Max Tucker. Go ahead. You just take me back to the Ambassador Bridge and drop me off, and we'll move along about our way. And um, nope, my name is Maximilian Alexander Sterling. I'm from England. If you're going to deport me, send me there. And thus began the year and a half or almost 2 year effort for the country of Canada and the British High Commission to try to figure out who the fuck this guy is. I listen. In my old age, I am a bit ashamed of some of my activities in my youth and the undue waste of resources I put upon the beautiful country of Canada. But all this shit really happened. So, after about 3, 4 weeks in an immigration detention center in Montreal, Quebec, because you say it Quebec, not Quebec, not Quebec, Quebec. Some judge finally said, okay, we don't know who you are. We don't know how you got in our country. I'm going to release you. Just leave the way you came. Good day. Sorry. I fucking love Canada. They didn't send my ass to Gitmo. They they didn't fucking send my ass to slavery in fucking El Salvador. No, no, no. They just said, "Oh, we're obviously bothering you, sir. Just feel free to wonder about our country, and when you feel like it, please just deport yourself." I fucking love Canada. And when the time comes, I will fight by your side. So now you ask yourself, okay, Max, you're now a free man running around Canada. What did you do? Fucking tattooed. Did that for a little bit, wandered around. There was a um, tattoo shop on Rue Saint Denis, and I worked there called La Tatouage. Worked for a dude named Pierre. He was a cool cat. Um, and about I think few blocks up the street there was um there was a hobby shop. This guy had a at least a 10,000 point Skaven Warhammer army right as you walked in the door. It was just this huge table with a plastic dome over the top, just massive, every piece painted to perfection. And me and him became friends, started painting some models, and then I decided that I was going to take the judiciary's advice and try to get back to England because I was just doing anything in my power not to go back to the States. I love America. I'm just, oh yeah, that was most definitely old school games workshop too, because every one of those Skaven miniatures, including all the bombs and all the plague machines and everything like that, they were all pewter. Some of them were probably fucking lead too. So man, I was hoping that I wouldn't have to get back on a boat and go back to England because I love the sea. I just really did not want to spend months in the North Atlantic earning my keep back over to the UK. It just here, gods, that's a fucking boat ride. And they were really nice. You know, they finally I went to Newfoundland, which for those who are unfamiliar geographically, it is the closest point between North America and the European continent. And I figured, well, you know, that's not too far. I'll go there. They got a nice bay, and I can get a free ride. You know, find a boat, head to England. Because in England, I had work. I had a tattoo shop to work at. I had, well, not mine, but you know, one that was familiar with me. Money to be made. Had a probably an ID or two. Bank account with a considerable amount of money, and really wanted all that back. But no, let's go to Canada. Yeah, fuck New Brunswick. Sudbury sucks too, but for different reasons. I've always had a good time in Canada. If you cannot have a good time in Canada, you need to reevaluate yourself. That's just there's always something fun to do. And I love Quebec. I mean, Montreal, oh, people can talk shit about the Quebecois, but Montreal is a fun town. Ontario's okay. If you love meth, it's visit London, London, Ontario. It's I my thing was I got the first thing I did when and I still haven't gotten to how I got deported. We're gonna get to that. We got a lot of stuff to do here. We got time. The first thing I did when I left Montreal was I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go west, young man, go west. And no, I am not allowed back in Canada. No, that is when they deport you, it's forever. So, um, oh, and it listen, I haven't even. I've just gotten up to the. I just got out of the detention center. Um, part of the story. I haven't even touched on how did you get fucking deported. First thing I did when I got out of detention center, I'm like the immigration detention center and the fine judge who was like, please just see your own way out of the country. Um, I decided, you know, go west, young man, go west. So I went to Sault Ste. Marie. And let me tell you, there is a road that goes all the way across Canada. The convenience of it and the creation of it is a wonderful story in and of itself. And I'm not going to tell it here. But it is the most boring fucking drive. Why is my camera doing that? Come on, camera, stop that. There we go. I think it took a week. It felt like driving a week to get 100 miles. It was so long. And there's nothing there. It's just road and then more road. And it goes that way until you hit Calgary and you see a fucking mountain and you're like, oh, look, it's a hill. And 1,000 miles later, you just get to the foothills. That Alberta, God's bless it. But that is reminded me of my childhood in Kansas. It is some flatland shit. So I got to Sault Ste. Marie, and some hippie taught me what a bottle toke was. I don't know if I'm going to tell that story. And I got fucked up enough that I decided I was going to go to Newfoundland. So got me to Newfoundland because that's the closest point between two continents. And I was going to England. And I spent a year and a half in Newfoundland. Because that's a dead harbor and nobody sails out of Newfoundland. They call it The Rock. You ever seen that movie, The Rock? Sean Connery. It's a great movie. It's probably the only good Michael Bay film ever created. And once you get to Newfoundland, that's that's where you become the prisoner. So I got an apartment on a place called Quiddy Vitty Lake. Google it, kids. And at the time, the Newfoundland Maple Leafs played right about a block from me. And you had a place right across the street. It was a hill, just a rock hill of just amethysts, huge chunks of fucking amethysts. All over the place. You could just walk and reach down. If you kick that rock just right, a huge chunk of purple amethyst would come up. And you had what was called Cabot Tower. And Cabot Tower was the site of the world's first transcontinental radio broadcast. A little bit of history there for you. And it was beautiful. It's just this big tower up on top of a fucking rock. And right next to it was Gibbet Hill, where they used to hang people for everybody to see. So it's probably why the Canadian government put me in an apartment right there. And yeah, Canada. The same people who were like, sorry, go deport yourself. Also got me an apartment. So, yeah. So I'm living there as under a fake name, fake identity, fake backstory. And I got me a fiance. Lori, if you're listening, I'm sorry, hon. We're still friends to this day, but Yeah, Northwest Territories is a nice place. Um, all right, take a little break from storytelling and let's do a little drawing. Okay. So we've got lines that run here. So what we need to do is kind of match up the side profile of this character right here. So all we've got to do is change the directions, change the details. So we've got the chest. The chest is going to go right here and it goes all the way up to here. So I've kind of got an idea. Just match up these lines. So we've got the chest. I want to take it up like that. And again, we're using a 3B pencil. It's really light. And when the time comes, we can use a kneaded eraser to erase it. So, all right. His shield comes to this line. Let's do. We're just going to get a rough sketch in here. But it's a good opportunity to make up some details. Like his arm, a lot of it is really going to be obscured by that fucking shield. But we don't necessarily have to add the shield. We can also have the shield removable, add it over here to the side. But got a little cloth here in the back. Got his. It was a lot of adventure, and I feel kind of bad for a lot of people now. I I would absolutely not do it again because I was a little fucking I was a shit. At when my fiance, she was she was a good sport about it. It's like, oh, really? Your name's not Max Sterling, famous Robotech fighter pilot. Your- Uh, It was a good time. But I am definitely, it also could have ended a number of other ways too. And but what's sad about it is you just, you absolutely, you just can't have adventure like that anymore. There's they would absolutely in this day and age throw away the key for some stupid bullshit like that. But I did get to work on a comic book while I was in Newfoundland. And that was fun and it taught me a lot. HGC, thanks for stopping in, bud. Oh, oh, come on. There we go. Somewhere I've got a ruler. Thing about this shield arm is we can definitely work around it. I want to kind of get some of the details, even if we're going to cover them up later. Excuse me. Allergies are killing me tonight. So where were we? Oh yeah, I'm in Newfoundland. Working on a comic with some random dude named Tony called Zone 7. Yeah, we've come back to that. And Zone 7 was loosely based on the world of an old Nelvana cartoon called Rock and Rule. I think that's where he kind of got the concept for, or at least some of the world building ideas for it. Um, it that one's a little bit smaller. Which was an interesting cartoon. I don't know if you've never seen it. It is most definitely, it's worth at least one watch. I mean, it's got fucking Debbie Henry and Iggy Pop in it, so you're at least getting that. But it's a strange movie. And the story this guy had come up with was a good story. I really liked working. We got at least one comic done, I think, and I think by the time we got to the second one, I was starting to be more than a little bit done with this cat. It's not you, it's me. It was definitely him. And anyway, to finish it up, long story short, the Canadians wiretapped my phone, called home to say hi one day, and the next day they came and got me and put me in fucking Newark. All right. That should be up here. Oh. Let's see. This is the great thing about these kneaded erasers. You just take this, lighten up that pencil sketch just a little bit. Just get it out of your way. And then we can go right to the markers. Thanks, Dens. Appreciate you, bud. I'm kind of surprised it's looking good because I'm going to tell you proportions has most definitely never been my strongest. All right. He does have a little spot right here. We want to. He should have two, but he lost one in battle. But add that in. That's because remember this is based off a crawfish, so we are kind of want to kind of just give it a little bit of crawfish love. And crawfish definitely Listen, Dens, just keep at it. Every day, draw something. Watch a YouTube video. Uh, learn your fun. Just pay attention to your fundamentals, uh, and it'll come to you. Uh, I am not a savant. Talent is earned and learned. There are very few people I know who just one day picked up a pencil and were good. Just I can't name a single one off the top of my head. Uh, it's something that you just every day pick up a pencil and just 5 minutes. Just take 5 minutes every day and draw something that you see. You like your red hood? Don't don't try to draw the whole figure. Pick one part of that. Say you got a red hood figure. Uh some Uncle Todd, McFarlane, the best figure you got. And you want to draw that figure. Well, you're always going to get frustrated because you're thinking about the whole thing. I've got to draw the whole thing or it won't be right. Draw nothing but the head for a month every day. Get you just a sheet of typing paper and don't try to draw the whole thing. Not don't try to take up the whole sheet. Just take um damn it, you stupid AI. Hold on. Go. I'm about to knock it all over here. Instead of trying to draw the whole thing and take up the whole sheet of paper, draw 6 squares on a sheet of typing paper. That's just just sheet of typing paper. On the first day, draw just the head of Red Hood. And the second day, and draw the exact same one a second time, and then a third, and then a fourth, and keep drawing that head until you until you fucking hate it, honestly. Um, until you get better at it. And then when you get where you're like, you know what, that's not bad. I can be happy with that. Then add an upper body. Do a bust from about mid torso, shoulders. Don't worry about hands or all the arms. Just do shoulders and just do a bust and draw that and keep doing it. And huh? I believe you. You've tried. And listen, art is frustrating. I'm drawing this shit right now. I'm frustrated as fuck. My wife's got almond cookies in the next room. She ain't brought me none. I'm frustrated about that. I want to get up and go eat some of them almond cookies, but I'm here drawing. Um, I get cookies when I'm done. I get cookies when I'm done. No, I don't get cookies yet. I'm not done. I'll get them in a little bit. Thank you. I don't need crumblies right now. She says, "Don't talk shit." Uh, you just have to keep at it. You say I have talent. I say you're seeing the end result of 40 years of busting my ass. And that gives the illusion that this looks easy. Um, I used to hear that a lot with my tattoos. People would compliment me, and I never know how to take a compliment anyway. I suck at it. I should get better and just say thank you and take it for what it is. Someone who just is giving me a compliment, and that's wonderful. And I'm always thankful for attention. Humans like attention, and it feels good when we get it. But yeah, see, but that's the point I'm trying to make is and listen, it just it's some people don't, you can't teach the focus. You can't make them an artist. Nothing, fundamentals and different things like that. Just they can't get it, and and that does happen. Uh, I think that if you wanted it, you could get it, but you see, you've got a friend who can draw. I'm willing to bet that they probably have more than a few hours of sitting there and focusing and just drawing every day. Um, I've told this story a couple times that uh, in group that my daughter asked me one day how to draw, and I just told her I want to pick up a pencil and no matter what, draw every day. And I damn it, she did it. And now she draws better than me. And fuck that little shit. Not really. I'm super proud of her. But um, she just draws every day. But again, going back to my point that, and listen, you look at what I'm doing, and you're being very complimentary, and I appreciate that. But I can also show you within 5 minutes 100 other people who this is I that if I drew for another 50 years, I would not be able to touch what those people do. Uh, doesn't make my work less relevant or less important to the people that it's important to. Um, but I'm no master. I've definitely got my 10,000 hours in, but there's always somebody better, and there are some amazing artists out there. And if you want to be one of them, just I listen. I looked at your Instagram. You got that? I see. Rollerblading. Man, I suck. I have spent some hours trying to learn to rollerblade. It's probably some of the reason why I don't have any fucking knees right now. But I can't rollerblade. That is not a thing that and you're like, "Oh, Max, you just need to practice." Yep. Need to practice, need to learn. And I'm sure I could probably one day get good at it, but it's you got to have a passion for some things if you really want to do it, and drawing as a hobbyist is always fun. Um, drawing just for you don't always have to, draw to please yourself at the beginning, and then eventually you're going to get good enough to where somebody's like, "Hey, I think I might give you. I think I would like to give you money for what you did." Um, I got real lucky, and that happened to me at a young age. And for some reason, it keeps fucking happening. I don't know why anybody would ever pay me for a goddamn thing, but I sure like it when they do. Yeah, see, yeah. I listen. I'm struggling with type 2 right now myself, and it is. I lost my grandfather to diabetes, so that's something I'm I very much like to speak up about. So and he went blind too, driving down the road one day, and then just boop, could not see. So it's, but you said you're a professional rollerblader. I mean, that's just, again, it's, you could take everything I've said and apply it to that. You were doing things that, you knew that you'd work to learn, and busted your ass and your tailbone more than a few times, and people would look on at it and be like, you know, that dude's got he's seriously talented. He makes this shit look easy, and you've got 10,000 hours behind, uh, grinding down them wheels in some parking lot, and it's always wanted to get rollerblading was something that I always when it was real big in the 90s. And I mean, Holy shit. I can't even imagine. I don't know enough about it now to speak towards it one way or the other, where it's at or anything like that. But I've got friends who skateboard, and I know some of those cats, and the money they spend on some of their kit is just shit. I was just happy to have a, Vision Sight stick with, and was jealous of a buddy of mine because he had slime ball wheels and independent trucks. But if if drawing something that you want to do, well, first and foremost, don't ever worry about what somebody else is doing. That's where a lot of people fuck up. And that's what breaks a lot of people's minds. They'll spend, I got a good analogy for that, a little anecdote. I knew a kid was drew all through high school. Everybody told him he was good. He would draw for his classmates and stuff like that, and was big into anime when it definitely was not cool to be into anime. God, I feel like I'm telling my own life fucking story here. He got into college. He was a college mate of mine, and he was a cool dude. No man, he was hella cool. Could draw his ass off. And one day, he walked into class and saw what another student had done, who had excelled faster than he had. And I never saw that dude again. Quit school, stopped drawing, think he works in the fucking oil field now. All that dude wanted to do was move to South Korea and do animation. And just one day saw somebody who drew better than him and just fucking quit. And it's sad because I honestly think that there was no way he was going to beat all those little South Korean kids. But uh he was a good dude, and he definitely had talent and could have took it somewhere. But he saw what somebody else was doing, and I'm sure, man. I saw some dudes who, uh, when I really wanted to get into skateboarding. Of course, where I grew up, you couldn't skateboard; they would arrest your ass. In fact, I've got a friend who got his ass arrested for walking down the street with a skateboard under his arm. One day, my I might tell the stories of growing up in Guyman, Oklahoma, but that is not this day. Um, but there's a few of us who survived it. But anyway, getting back to the point, if you want to draw and you want to get better at art, just draw every day. Draw normal. Don't even worry about drawing action figure stuff or characters, or other comic book stuff. Because again, you're going to upset yourself and you're going to get frustrated because you're not as good as the comic book artist. You're not as good as the kid next to who you excelled faster than. You just need to focus on yourself, get a pen or a pencil and a sheet of paper, and every day pick an object around you and draw it. And that's it. Draw the same thing every day until you're good at drawing if you got a vase sitting on your kitchen table, draw that vase every day until you get fucking good at drawing fucking vases. And you're like, Max, I don't want to fucking draw vases. I want to draw Red Hood, fucking black cat in an alleyway. Um, if you start getting the muscle memory and you start getting good at drawing that vase, you'll start noticing other things you draw coming to you easier. You might try it. I don't know. I don't know shit. Don't listen to anything I say. I'm full of shit. I got deported from Canada, and I probably shouldn't even be on YouTube telling anybody any kind of advice. So, oh fuck me, man! If you want to draw, you can. You can do it. All right. I don't know if I'm going to get too much more into this. Let's bring it out here. So we've got a good side view here. I dismembered the arm. Now you've got room on these sheets. We could definitely go in. We've got the cannon up here that we haven't drawn. We haven't put a lot of detail in this guy. Um, we could definitely take a few opportunities to go in. Something I like to do. You know what? I will do a little bit of this. So we've got a couple spots here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here and got a circle. So I'm going to draw that there. I'm going to do another one here. So what we can do in these little circles here. Yeah, that's it. Personal progression. That's and honestly, I mean, listen, I excelled as an artist growing up, and I've had thousands of hours of art lessons from art teachers. I didn't grow up with YouTube or the internet. Well, after I'd had almost more of my most of my art lessons, and in fact, even when I went to college, and I went to college late, um, I still didn't have a lot of internet. So I should probably draw that with a pencil. Okay, so I'm going to take where I cut off the shield over here, I'm going to add it right here. And I want to do just kind of a little profile. So we're going to take, no, it's kind of rounded. I want it a little bit there. We're going to bring some of it up. Nowadays, you've got the internet, and if I'd had the internet like your generation and a lot of these other people, other generations have, um, I would have been unfucking stoppable. It is unbelievable the talent that that is just giving away lessons these days. Um, and the things that you can learn from some of the people. And it's a good opportunity. I mean, just I guarantee if there's an artist, um, you're 42, you're just a baby, Deans. I will be 50 in less than a month. '42 is not a baby, and but my point is still valid. If there's find an artist that you like. Hell, you talked about you talk about how you're a fan of Batman and Red Hood, things like that. I guarantee you right now, as we speak, one of the artists who draws Red Hood has videos on YouTube giving some kind of fucking art lessons. Hell, I've seen. We were talking about Frank Cho earlier tonight, and yeah, I imagine if you're 42, I imagine growing up in Colombia, there was quite a few issues with reliable internet in certain parts. Let's see things you can do all throughout this page if you want to um, accent or really highlight and something from a different angle. Just do your little balloon and draw a line to that. Mm-hmm. Also, make sure that you let your ink dry before you rub the magic kneaded eraser over the top of it, or you will take a really cool sheet and smear that fucking ink all over the top of it. I think my first computer, we're talking about internet, how old I am. My first computer was a Tandy 1000 SX. I traded a kid up the street because I had a monochrome monitor. He had an RGB. I was like, you spoiled little shit. Traded some Transformers or some GI Joes or something for that monitor. and had the old 7-inch floppy disks when they really were flippy floppy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that I'm going to call this good. You've gotten a good general idea of how these little character sheets work out. And the great thing about them is with the non-photo blue and all the line work, again, you run it through a photocopier. None of that blue shows up. You just have your character sheets. So yeah, like I said, with the circles, it's just a way to highlight certain places. Like I can put the cannon over here and stuff like that, finish it out, and do a bunch of stuff. But it's been a long day, and I think it's we've been on for 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. But it gives you a good general idea of how these character sheets work and the things that you can do with them. And it's a great way to do a character study. You know, if you've got an original character and there's typically the way you want to do it is maybe a little bit smaller than what I did. And you do a side profile, a forward facing, and then you would do a side profile facing the other way. And maybe if you got enough space, you do the back, so you would have 4 different ways on there. But there's a number of different ways, and depending on how complicated you really want to take it with the character you've drawn. So give it a go. You can get these sheets on Amazon. Blue Line Art. They've got a number of comic book sheets too, if you're looking for any of that. And if nothing else, just get some legal size 8.5 by 14 typing paper. Whatever you got, you can figure out a way to make it work. Don't be afraid. Light tables, also, as I've mentioned last week, are easy to fabricate. If you've got anything, you can put a light underneath. I had a buddy of mine had a glass top table, put a light underneath it, boom, light table. So anything that I've done, you can do easily. Just give it a try, and most importantly, yeah, Dens, just continue trying. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's just we don't do this because it's easy. We do this because we thought it would be easy. You just do it. Just draw every day. Next week, let me get this out of here. All right. This is it. The Jamakian Mudbug Commander, inspired by everybody's good friend, J Mac. And because he didn't know what a mudbug was. Well, he knows now. He is fucking tired of it. I'm gonna get him some mudbug DFW. Buy him 5 pounds of that shit with a hamburger and some. Oh, next week I've got a. I want to do a little bit more painting, action figure painting. Everybody seemed to like that a whole lot more than me drawing and yapping about getting deported from Canada. Long, stupid ass story, anyway. Um, so I've got a winter action force trooper, and I am going to put him through the mud. I also have the head of Bobby Vala coming in the mail, and we're going to be doing something with that too. That is going to be probably a couple episode project. I don't know that that's um a lot of people know Bobby's told the story in a couple places. Most importantly, on the Valaverse channel, where you should absolutely go and sub right now. And I believe last week's episode, he was talking about his time designing figures when he worked at Hasbro. And one of the highlights of that story, and I don't want to spoil it, but he basically got his head scanned and put into an action figure. And I've got that action figure coming because I've got my Desert Rat, Tony Roberts, and I have my Laser Pants. And now I'm going to have a Bobby Vala. So I will be able to finally have the three amigos of the 3POA podcast all in action force form. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get to paint the head of Bobby Vala. I've got to do a little sculpting on it first because I want to make it current with his current look and make sure his beard. And I'm not just sure, it's Hasbro. So I'm not just sure just how great a sculpt that was originally. Find out when I get it in my hand. And I will be promoting that more and more here in the next week or so, and getting that done. Hopefully, I'll have the figure in hand. We'll see. eBay sellers be scamming motherfuckers here lately, so we'll I may be getting a fucking Darkwing Duck action figure in the mail. I don't fucking know anymore. I know that won't be. I don't know. I might be able to. I'll know more when I get the figure in, but definitely next week. I am going to be taking this guy and muddying the fuck out of him. Getting a lot of the gear and stuff, highlighted, doing some stuff with the gun and a few things like that. Just doing some figure painting. I had a good time doing the painting last week, so I want to do some more of that. Also, be planning on. I know I've got some watercolor stuff coming up. I've got a huge commission piece that I really need to get fucking started on, and I am. If he's watching, you need to get back to me and answer your fucking messages. So, that being said, I'm gonna end the show tonight as we do every time with a quote from Collins' Gem Dictionary of Quotations. And tonight, from Julian Sorrell Huxley, 1887. The ant herself cannot philosophize. While man does that and sees and keeps a wife and flies and talks and is extremely wise. From For a Book of Essays by Julian Sorrell Huxley. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Have a great evening. Be kind to each other. Peace.